everyone, and welcome to National Treasure Hunt, the podcast where the secret lies not only with Charlotte, but also with your co hosts. I'm Aubrey,
And I'm Emily.
and this episode has been on the docket for a while. There's backstory to it, it's been requested, we've wanted to do it, and frankly, even the prep for this episode is very special because I was doing my prep while Emily and I were like on Zoom together, just working separately, but just like in each other's presence. And I was losing my mind.
Aubrey was not having it. Um, it was hilarious and made me really nervous about my prep for the episode. I didn't hate it in the same way, but
Really?
no.
Oh my God. That's so interesting. You guys, not to bury the lead anymore, we are going to be talking about the credits. This is the most National Treasure Hunt thing we could ever do. The credits of National Treasure Edge of History. But it's not just words. You guys might recall if you watched the credits that in the finale of Edge of History, episode 10, the credits roll, and then we see in sort of a where are they now style a series of social media posts from our main characters showing what happened to them after they found the Pan American treasure. And so we are going to analyze those social media posts today.
Yes. And as the person who does the social media shout outs on these episodes, I just have to say like they were shouting some stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we learn a lot about what the
Mhm.
characters are up to for sure. The way those achievements, let's say, are presented made me very uncomfy. I don't think I've ever been more riled up prepping an episode before in my entire life. So we'll see if I get back to that place or not. Before we dive in though, you guys, um, before I get riled up, let's dive into our screams from Parkington Lane. All right, Emily, do you have an Edge of History scream this week? Would it be timely and relevant like that, or is this just a generic scream?
Is a generic scream.
Okay.
So this past Sunday, I was in church and there was a congregational meeting that was happening. And one of the things that the council president was talking about was the um kind of our need as a church to utilize the talent we have to like, reach the community and whatever. And, when he said that, he put up a picture of the movie screen, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and then proceeded to talk a little bit about Nick Cage and say that he didn't think he was the best actor ever, but he did love him in National Treasure, and that made me very happy, because
Was it
I was like,
because
National Treasure.
did he say it because you were there, or was this just a coincidence?
He told me that he put it in there,
Ah,
because I
nice.
was there.
That's really funny. That's cute. I love
So,
that for
yeah.
you.
What about you?
Well, because I have such a backlog of screams, I am going to pick an Edge of History relevant one, to be timely. So this comes from, you guys know we record these episodes in advance, and some of my screams are a little dated because I have so many. This comes from, I guess, early 2026 when The Traitors was airing, the show The Traitors, which is a very popular reality competition show. Reality Steve's podcast was recapping a Traitors episode, and he described one of the challenges in the Traitors episode as doing something, quote, in plain sound. And I lost it because I was like, number one, remember that quote from Edge of History where they describe, like, is it Jess who says, like, the Freemasons were known for hiding things in plain sight. Could the daughters of the plumed serpent have hidden something in plain sound? And you got really mad at that quote.
I mean, I thought it was cool that they were referencing music, but, like, it
You did not
sounded
like that
cheesy.
line. So anyway, I had never heard that phrase in plain sound ever besides Edge of History. So then when Reality Steve said it, I was like, eh. Like it was crazy. That's my scream.
Amazing.
Um, let's move on to our brief look back into our ancient back catalog at this point here on National Treasure Hunt. As a reminder, if you are new here and looking for our old episodes where you should listen, if you're overwhelmed, or if you just want to go back and revisit something you haven't listened to in like 5 years, today we are quickly revisiting episode 17, Hunt for Villains. This is where we first attempted to compare Ian Howe and Mitch Wilkinson.
Yeah. Which is crazy because we do it all the time.
All the time. So what do you remember? Do you remember anything about that episode? It's hard to distinguish, right, between that episode and the conversations that came later.
So I remember that I was very pro Ian,
I was gonna
and I
say.
was very anti Mitch. And
Yeah.
I don't think that has changed.
Yeah, I think you're just really stubborn because I do feel like we've had so many conversations since then that have illuminated complexities to each of the characters, Mitch included. I don't have a strong memory of this episode, but what I think I remember is for the first time being like, "Oh, Mitch and Ben are actually really similar." And I think that was my first foray into thinking that Mitch was actually quite a dynamic and interesting villain because of the protagonist-antagonist similarities.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, I'm an Ian girl. It's been that way from the beginning. So if you listen to episode 17, just know that I have remained consistent.
Sure. I would love to know what we said in that episode.
Me
Literally,
too.
who knows? Literally, who knows? We could be lying.
I might
Oh,
have been a
boy.
big Mitch stan. Who knows?
Yeah. Literally, who knows? It could surprise us all. But when you go back and listen to that, or when you listen to this episode, you know you're going to want to tell us what you think, and you should do that online.
Yes, please. First of all, subscribe to our new National Treasure Hunt YouTube channel. Like, you can tell us what you think about this episode and others in the comments there. So, like, do that.
Indeed.
You can also find us on X and Instagram at NT Hunt Podcast, and we are available at nthuntpodcast.com, where you can find information about our books, upcoming events, and all that fun stuff. I do have to say at this point that I am officially retiring my bathroom schedules line because I was told by my husband that it was very cringe.
I've been telling you that for years, and you didn't care.
I'm sorry.
I, you know, I assume and hope that your husband's opinions are more important to you, maybe a little than mine.
Mhm.
However, considering we've known each other longer than you've known your husband, number one, and number two, we are business partners. Um, I would like to think that that should have registered previously.
Maybe, but anyway, you'll hear it in old episodes, not in this one.
I'm so glad that we are over and done with that. I always hated that. Anyway, speaking of upcoming events and things where you can engage with us and kind of participate in the National Treasure Hunt experience in person, we do have 3 upcoming heist nights that you can get tickets to right now. All right, I'm going to rattle them off. Heist night at the Jamestown Settlement in Williamsburg, Virginia on April 11th. Heist night at the Westport Museum for History and Culture in Westport, Connecticut on May 16th. Heist night at the Houston Museum of Natural Science in Houston, Texas on May 21st. We actually have more coming up, but I don't want to overwhelm you, and I'm just going to stop with those 3 for now. Ticket links are available in our show notes and over on our website. And speaking of tickets, we do have 2 tours coming up. All right. This is officially your last chance to register for the spring 2026 National Treasure Hunt Tour in Washington, D.C., happening on Saturday, April 25th. And if you've already been to that one, or if you'd rather visit a different national treasure city, signups are also open right now for our first ever tour in Philadelphia. Different content, same fun. That tour is running on Saturday, May 9th. Once again, those sign up links are in our show notes today.
Yes. Pointing below
Yes,
to the show
it's fun.
notes.
It's fun to have video sometimes. Down.
Show notes.
Show notes. Okay. That was cringe too. Um, are you ready to dive into this episode, Emily?
Born ready.
What I think we should do is, number 1, explain what the heck we're talking about regarding this Edge of History social media nexus, and then turn it into, like, a Where Are They Now style episode where we walk through just each of the social media posts and discuss the implications, including, I think, what, if anything, it could have meant for a second season of Edge of History. Because when they created these credits and social media posts, they were still hoping that a second season would be greenlit.
Which is kind of weird because spoiler alert, these posts would have made a second season challenging?
Like, geographically, logistically, professionally, right?
Everything.
Okay, I'm glad you got that implication as well, because I found myself very confused. We'd obviously watched these credits and these posts flash on our screens before, but I hadn't thought about it super hard. I really wasn't comprehending what the posts meant. Now that I have, I'm confused. So, again, if you want to kind of watch along with what we're talking about, you're going to want to go watch Edge of History episode 10, scroll to the very end. The credits start rolling, and then, like, after every 2 pages of credits pop up, the third screen or page, if you will, is one of these social media posts. Let's actually read them all. Let's read each of the posts and see what we think. I will say, before we go to the first one, which the first one was surprising enough considering who they spotlighted first. Did you have any thoughts on the presentation of these, whether it was like the social media platform that was being presented to us, whether it was whose post it was, whether it was about the comments sections, because they always showed the comment sections of these posts?
I think for me the weirdest part was I didn't love the captions combined with the comments. Like,
Mm,
because I think, like, picture in and of itself, I think is good, and I think it
mhm,
would have been nice if, like, they gave some context for the picture, but the
mhm.
captions felt not like they were written by the characters.
Okay, double tap, and also my initial question was like, who are these commenters? Are they the names and or handles of, like, members of the crew? That would have been fun. That would have been cute. And then as I started going through and writing down what the handles were, I was like, not only are these not real people, I think, no offense, boomers, but a boomer made up these handles. Like,
Yeah, they're not great.
oh my god. Okay, it's starting. I'm glad we got here because now starting to get riled up again. Oh my god.
Tell
Okay.
them first what the first one is.
Okay. So the first post that we see is an Instagram photo. By who, you might ask? Like, which of our Scooby Gang would be the first photo that we would feature? None of them. It's Raphael.
Naturally.
Did that blow
Let's
your
pick
mind?
the
That
oldest one.
immediately, I was like, why are we starting with Raphael?
And
So,
he would have posted on Facebook, let's be honest.
100%. Like, did he even know what Instagram was when he was in prison for 20 years?
Nope.
So it's a photo of Raphael with an old journal. I'm assuming that this is the Los Malinche Codex that was like this ethereal conspiratorial thing that was bandied around as maybe it existed, maybe it didn't. Um in the season, right? So that's what I'm assuming this is supposed to be. The caption says, all caps, achievement unlocked, hashtag Pan American treasure.
The all caps achievement unlocked very much sounds like an older person trying to be
Hip.
cool. Like, the kids
Yeah.
nowadays half the time don't put words in their
Mm.
captions. They just put, like, emojis.
Yeah.
No.
I immediately know. So before I keep going, I'm gonna read you the comments, the quote unquote comments under this post. The first one is by Colby K13, and it says, "Not you discovering history's greatest cultural treasure." And then the next one is from One Off Picasso, and it says, "Papa Raphael is the real treasure." And then the third one, and you guys, the comments get worse, I promise. Like more unhinged. The next one is from underscore Madeline underscore Elise. And it says, "Imagine getting to duck face in a treasure chamber." Ah.
Is that something people still do?
They certainly don't talk about it like that. Sorry, you guys. We're not coming across super coherent because we're just mind blown by this. Um, I will say, in response to my initial question of like, are these quote unquote commenters real people? The first one, Colby K13, sounds fine, especially when you compare it to some of the other handles I'm about to read to you. And so I looked it up, and Colby K13 is Colby Kember, a visual effects supervisor who worked on Edge of History. I'm guessing he probably literally made this montage, and so he made a little nod to himself.
Cute.
It's the only handle from all of these that I looked up and it was a real handle. But like something like underscore Madeline underscore Elise, I wouldn't be surprised if like Madeline Elise was an assistant on,
Right.
the show, or Colby's girlfriend. Sorry, I don't know, Colby, if you're listening, if you have a partner, but like this is what I could see because this is a very normal sounding handle, even if it's not real. That
Right.
I cannot overemphasize how much that will change.
So part of what really bothered me about this is the, um the second comment, um,
Okay.
Papa Raphael is the real treasure. How do people know him?
Mhm.
Like, this
Uh-huh.
suggests he has, like, a cultural following.
Okay, yes, not all thank you. First of all, this post has nearly 7,500 likes and more than 2,600 comments, and yet we're supposed to believe he was in prison for 20 years? What?
I was trying to think if those numbers could in any way be relevant. I don't think so.
No. No, they're not. They're just trying to show that these people have become famous from this treasure, and frankly, it would make me really kind of annoyed if Raphael became famous for this treasure because he did not let's talk about Mitch getting credit when credit was not due. I don't know that Raphael deserves the credit.
Mm, yeah, it just it feels like, it doesn't feel like something people would care about that much to like and comment to this degree on the post.
That's an interesting comment to make. I wonder like what the equivalent would be in today's world. Like if let's say there was an excavation team, a treasure hunt team that went and like found a lost pirate ship and scuba dove and like discovered a treasure chest. I think it would be in a very specific and niche news cycle for a day, and then it would be gone until it was excavated and taken to a museum, and then there'd be like a big announcement and it hit the news cycle again that they opened this exhibition, and then it'd be gone.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, actually.
It's just mm. I know it's only getting worse. I know it's only gonna
I
get
know.
worse.
Well, okay, let's throw a bone here. I will say that from a meta break the fourth wall perspective, these this photo of Raphael, I say these because we're about to get another Raphael photo. Um, these photos were taken in the set that was the treasure chamber, the Pan American treasure chamber in the show. So The implication here is that these social media posts being a thing were planned far enough in advance that the actors had to take these photos during production. So I do like the intent here, and I think it was a creative way of saying what happens next, especially if they weren't going to get another season, and they didn't. But I was left with, when I looked at the posts holistically, we're obviously going to get to some of the other ones, but we are about to see the other characters, specifically the Scooby Gang, do really great and impressive things with their lives. So it did make me wonder what Raphael is doing with his life now that he is out of prison. And it's almost like he's holding on to the treasure thing as like his next, like, he's almost stuck here, whereas the other characters are now going to grow and like move on with their lives a little, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this is, like, him moving on with his life, though. Like, he's moving on from prison, and this is
Well,
what
that's
he's
true.
been obsessed with. So, like, this does feel logical to me as a next step, but I
Mhm.
do agree that it's interesting compared to, like, the degree of what
Of
we
it.
see in other people.
So to underscore that, the next post that we see is another Raphael Instagram post. It is the selfie that we see the cast taking, not the cast, the characters taking at the end of the episode with the treasure. And remember, they're like the kids take a selfie, and then they're like, "Oh, come on, Raphael, get in, get in." And he was like, "Oh, me, little old me." And then they do like the selfie with him in it. This is that photo. So it's Ethan, Oren, Tasha, Liam, and Jess. Jess is hugging Raphael. The caption is TFW, or that feeling when you unbury the truth, hashtag Pan American Treasure. For those who are not watching on YouTube, Emily is covering her whole face right now.
This is so bad.
This is not
Um,
even the worst of it, man.
it tells you how I'm gonna feel about the rest of them. Like, I can't this feels like they're trying to slot in, like, a message, um, into this Instagram caption, like, at the end of the credits. Like, we get it, it's the truth. Like, chill. Nobody's writing that.
I want to read the comments here. I'll read the 3 comments and then I will read you the handles of the people who wrote them. The first one is, I can't wait for the exhibit to come to my city. The second is, wonder what the next treasure will be. Aubrey talking, same. And number 3, can I join the next treasure hunt? And these were posted by Bad Bradley, where every A in the handle is an at sign, No Pain, No Dwayne, and Natty Trej, where the A is an at sign, even though just Natty Trej would have sufficed and would have been a cute nod to the fact that that's what all of the cast members were hashtagging on their own Instagram during filming.
Wha Do we think there was something where they needed to put at signs?
I guess it's, well, you said like maybe Bad Bradley with A's existed already, like it was a real user. It's possible.
Like, because that's the only thing I can think as to why.
Because we're gonna get a lot more of that. It is possible that they had ideas for handles and they didn't want to go check them all. And so they just did the thing where they do a bunch of special characters because they're assuming it's gonna be safe.
That's fair. Although this would not have taken that long to check them.
I agree. I checked them all. Just saying. Um, Once again, this has nearly 7,500 likes. It has more than 750 comments. And I just cannot, again, overemphasize enough how shocked I am that the first 2 posts are Raphael's. Why kick this off with Raphael, a character who is definitively not a main character?
I wonder if it's because he's the one that is still doing the most very obviously with the treasure,
Hmm,
and they just ended
with the treasure.
the episode with the treasure, they ended with taking this selfie, and so they're like, "Well, let's tie that in, and then we'll tell you not treasure-related things."
At first I thought that maybe they were going backwards from, like, least important character to most important character to the show because that's like, fairly natural and logical. But as we go through this, there is no clear logical order for why they did things in the order they did. Like just is smack in the middle. You would think if they were
Mhm.
going with the quote unquote most important last or first, we would have. seen exactly that with Jess, but we do not. Um, so I don't really know, but we do finally get to a Scooby Gang member in the next post. This one was interesting.
I liked this one.
So this is a post by slash on behalf of Liam, and this is not an Instagram, it's like a Radio FM or YouTube or Spotify equivalent. It is a video of Liam playing a song called Beside Me Besides You, and, this doesn't really have, because again, like, you don't really have a comment section for a Radio FM type of thing. So additional details we see on the screen is this is labeled a number 1 song on a, quote, "top hits playlist," and it has 102,500 listens.
I liked this. I thought it was cute. Um, that feels believable. The
Mhm.
number 1 song a little less. The number of
Especially
listens feels
yeah.
reasonable. But if it's on a top hits playlist, depending on what the top hits playlist is, because there are like subgenres of them, it's
Yeah.
possible.
I was gonna say 100,000 listens and a number 1 song doesn't those numbers don't seem to match up to me, um, by, like, an order or 2 of magnitude. Um, but what's funny to me, I kinda thought it would be interesting to have Liam singing whatever song is playing during the credits. That would've been kinda cool. I don't know what song is playing, but I hear it in my head right now because I had to watch these credits so many times. Um, I'm pretty sure it's not a song called "Beside Me, Besides You," just for the record. Um, first of all, Emily, do you know, since you have more experience with the Edge of History soundtrack than I do you remember if Jake Austin Walker sang a song called "Beside Me, Besides You" in the show? Or is this just completely
Ye
made up?
No, 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 it's not made up.
Huh,
He has a recording of that song,
okay.
that is on Spotify, and I know this because I listen to this quite frequently. It is actually on the Edge of History, like, Spotify soundtrack.
Yeah.
Um, I am fairly confident, I did not go back and listen because I felt confident about it at the time, that this is the song he sang in Graceland.
Oh, so this is an Elvis song?
I'm pretty confident.
Huh, okay. I mean, don't at us if we're wrong. But I believe it because I know nothing about music or Elvis. Interesting. I'm actually glad to know that it was a real song that he sang because if this was just like a little made up thing for the social media shout out, then that would have annoyed me a little because they could have just used the name of any song he sang in the show. My question,
Okay,
sorry,
JK, it's not the Elvis song.
it's not the Elvis song.
It's not the Elvis song.
Is it
No.
a is it a cover or is it a original song? Do you
It
know that?
might be an original.
Oh, do you like this song?
I don't actually know that I listen to it quite as much as I listen to the Elvis song, but I see it come up every time I listen to the Elvis
Gotcha.
song
Okay,
because it's on the same soundtrack.
gotcha.
It's fine, but it's not like I don't love it. But it's still
So,
real, and it still was recorded, it still exists.
my immediate question from looking at this Liam focused social media post is how does finding the treasure lead to him suddenly becoming a successful musical artist when we are led to believe the whole duration of the show itself he is a struggling artist? Like, why? How? I don't think this makes sense.
I'm wondering if his performance at Graceland caught the attention of some
Hmm.
higher up people, and then when he also, is credited with finding this treasure, that they thought, like, "Let's run with this,
Mhm.
um, as a marketing stream," and
Mhm.
therefore, he kind of got his "chance," quote, unquote, um, on the bigger stage. That would be my suspicion.
That's not bad. I could also see, like, people filming him at Graceland and, like, it going viral online for
Yeah.
sure. That actually makes a little bit more sense than I thought it did. I'm okay with that. I will say we don't learn anything about whether he and Jess stay together, which I do think is probably intentional so that they didn't paint themselves into a, like, story corner for a second season if they had gotten one.
Yeah, I do think that's smart on their part,
Mhm.
but, I mean, I would have liked it, like, even if it was, like, I don't know, like, followed by, you know how they have that sometimes.
Well, it does make you wonder though, because the next post we get is from Jess. And Jess has, let's put it this way, Jess ain't in Baton Rouge anymore. So
She is not.
I wonder if Liam is. Um, okay. The next post we get is a Jess Instagram. It is a photo of her shaking the President of the United States' hand. We immediately know that apparently National Treasure Edge of History is operating in a slightly not real universe, like not like 2022 America because the president is a black woman, which love that, but also I did a double take. I was like, "Are you implying this is the president?" Because it wasn't obvious
Mm.
because we did not have a woman president in 2022.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense based on in National Treasure 2,
Greenwood.
you know, Bruce Greenwood president.
It was still a white guy when we had George Bush in office. So I don't know. You know,
Maybe they had hopes for the future of our country that did not come to fruition.
do you think Edge of History was predicting Kamala Harris's presidential run?
I maybe.
Oh my God, is Edge of History the new Simpsons? Trying, but like unsuccessful because they did not get it right. That's crazy. You heard it here first, folks. So the caption on this Instagram post is I got to meet the president. Hashtag honored, hashtag Pan American treasure.
I feel like hashtag honored is basically like hashtag blessed.
I
Um,
hate this.
also, do they have like handlers or something? Because, or did they just all agree that they were going to use the hashtag Pan American
Pan American
Treasure?
treasure. It's a
Because
little
it's not
clunky.
like it would have to be a group effort to use that hashtag.
For
Especially
sure.
because not people don't use hashtags all the time.
For sure. I mean, and also, I mean, this is the year 2026. Instagram rules have changed. You can't use more than 5 in a post now. This was not the case in 2022. In fact, in 2022, people would put, if they use hashtags, like 20 hashtags, and these
Yeah.
people are doing 2. And I'm like, oh boy. Anyway, the comments on this post, they scroll by very quickly. These are the visible ones that I'm about to read. Apparently, there are 420 in total. Um, Wish my grandparents were alive to see the discovery of the Pan American treasure by Marin Edelhay! Exclamation point where every A is an at sign. Then we have my two idols in one picture, BRB crying. This is by Sass Manster. I think it's supposed to be monster, but the O is an A because it's an at sign. 83. Then I'm sorry, you guys. I know you probably don't care about these handles, but this is what actually set me off was the handle.
It
So
is
I'm
that this is what I heard about via tech or via the Zoom call. Yeah.
shocked at the amount of buried history. Thanks for revealing the truth by a good read, but there's an exclamation point on either end of the handle.
And reed is spelled like a saxophone reed.
Correct. History in the making right here by, again, Hope for Hope with an exclamation point on both ends of the handle, which, again, I've never seen that in my life, let alone twice in a row. Congrats, Jess, you give me hope by I Dreamed a Dreamer, where not every A, 2 of the 3 A's are at signs. Praying you can get your citizenship one day by Stick It to the Rick, where 2 of the 3 eyes are exclamation points. And then finally, Indiana Jones Who by Flair Jordans, where the I is an exclamation point, the second A is an at sign, and the S is a money sign. Done. Boom.
Okay, so ranking these in order of the ones
Ugh.
that I like, and by ranking, I mean just telling you which ones I like. Hope for Hope, dumb. Um, I Dreamed a Dreamer is definitely a play on I Dreamed a Dream from Les
Mhm.
Mis and then Dreamer.
Mhm.
Stick It to the Rick, no clue. The Jordan, obviously, shoes,
Mhm.
we get that. I don't really care about the other ones. Comments. Um, my two idols in one picture, BRB crying. That feels realistic to me, I will say.
Sure.
Um, so good on them for that. Other one that seems realistic, History in the Making right here. Valid.
Sure.
Um, I think You Give Me Hope could have been it instead of Congrats, Jess, You Give Me Hope. Um, Praying You Get Your Citizenship One Day feels a little unnecessary. Um, my favorite is Indiana Jones Who, because that's what we here on National Treasure Hunt are
Y'all,
always saying.
first off, Indiana Jones Who is actually my favorite thing in this entire credits montage. What would have been even better is if any of these posts had a single reference to Ben, Riley, or Abigail. Spoiler alert, they don't. But that would have been not only smart and cheeky and Easter eggy, like I liked what they did here. They could have done 10 times more of this kind of thing. Like making the comments not just filler, but like actually Easter eggs. Like could you imagine them saying something like, "Oh, could this have been what was on page 47?" Or like, "I wonder what you know, I wonder what this president wrote into the secret book." Or
Wh- Where's Ben Gates at?
yeah, Ben Gates who? That would have been cute. Like, next I wanna see you with Dr. Abigail Chase. Like, there's just so much
Go
they could
on
have done with
Riley's
this.
podcast.
Perfect. There's so much they could have done with this, I guess, is kind of the early conclusion I'm going to get through. So, let's keep going. I will say details here. Jess is wearing a Princeton sweatshirt in the photo. So I guess she went to college after all. And like I this is interesting, right? Because Princeton is in New Jersey. Liam might still be in Baton Rouge, or if he's pursuing music, he could be in LA or Nashville. So that could be interesting for, theorizing on the status of their relationship. Also, it is literally like against protocol to meet the president in a sweatshirt. So I wonder what the context here is. Like, how slash why is she meeting the president? I mean, the obvious thing you're supposed to imagine is she's there because of the treasure. But the fact that she's in college makes me think some amount of time has passed. And I almost think it equally likely that she won some collegiate championship or something, and that would at least explain how she's allowed to wear this sweatshirt. I know I'm overthinking this, but this is where I'm at.
Yeah, I think it she's wearing it to tell you another piece of her story.
Yeah.
There's not good context.
Yeah. What do you think they're doing long distance? What do you think is up with the relationship, Em?
I think they broke up.
You do? Why?
Uh, I mean, that's normally what happens first to second season of
Mm,
shows. Also, it's what happened to Ben and Abigail between the first and the second film, so it wouldn't
sure.
surprise me if they were doing that if they thought that Liam and Jess were gonna be endgame.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and then it gives a more compelling narrative potentially for the second season rather than like they're just doing long distance and figuring it out. There's a love
Mhm.
story component there that people like me would care about.
Okay. Well, you know what someone like you probably doesn't care about? the next post, which is the president of the United States' Instagram, supposedly. This is it lost me. I was like, I'm here for seeing what's up with these characters, and I know there's a reason for this post, and we'll get to it, but for one of the characters, I just thought it was dumb to introduce the Instagram of the president here.
I mean, not unbelievable, in our current time period.
Well, you wouldn't get this post from our current president. This is a
No, it'd be on
close.
Truth Social, but, you know.
No, you wouldn't get that either because this is a ridiculous post. It's just a close up. Well, it's a different type of ridiculous
I was
post.
gonna
It's
say.
it's a close up of the president's sneakers. It was her sneakers from the previous picture, like the picture she was in with Jess. Um, and the caption is President approved shoes #sneakerhead. You know, I take it back. Maybe Edge of History did predict the future because this is just bizarre. A bizarre social
I
media post from the president of the United States.
I have zero proposed explanation for this. Um, my only possible thought is that maybe there was gonna be something to do with shoes in the 2nd season, and I realize that
No,
sounds ridiculous, and I don't know how that would've worked, but that is
it's
literally the
not.
best I can do.
No, there's nothing to do. The next picture explains it completely, but like it's stupid. Like this is where this exercise completely lost me. It is just so cringe and makes no sense because this is not realistic in the world of National Treasure Land that is not, year 2026 politics. So before I get to what the next picture is and how it explains it, I do want to ask why would Jess have been the only one of the characters to meet the president if the meeting is treasure related?
Maybe she's helping her with her immigration status.
But if again, that's not treasure related though. Like why they're in one
But,
of
like,
those
maybe it is, so maybe they're doing some publicity to help get that. I don't know, I'm trying to make sense of it.
I
I
know.
don't know, man. I'm doing my best here.
I appreciate it because I'm at a loss. So let's move on to our next Instagram photo, which is Oren. This is a photo of Oren holding the sneakers that the president was just wearing. And the caption is POTUS is wearing my shoes. This has nearly 12,000 likes and 159 comments. So,
Pause. So,
mhm, you
there are
didn't.
2 ways you could interpret this.
There's not. There's not. For the record, you're about to justify what so you made a really dumb assumption about this and you're about to try to justify it, are you
No, no, no,
not?
no, no. No, no, no. That's not where I'm going.
Okay.
President, like, is wearing my shoes. Shoes Oren designed,
Uh-huh.
or
Nope.
Oren's
Nope.
shoes.
Nope. 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 I know you know that's not true.
100%. But we need to start making up some lore here, and I find it best to meet ridiculousness with ridiculousness.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. You know what? That rationale makes about as much sense as these posts do. So,
I do have a question though. Can we just like look at the number? Well, not look. You all can't look at the number. I mean, you can if you watch it. Anyway, this post has like 12,000 likes
uh,
and 159 comments. And like, if the president of the United States is in a post, I would imagine that they've been tagged. Um, and I know that the president is not in this picture,
mhm.
but like, I bet Oren clicked on the picture and hit tag.
Mhm.
Why would more people not like this? If it's supposed to be believable from a perspective of like a president having an Instagram that is posting things or affiliated with posts of this kind.
Um Maybe people don't like the shoes?
I thought
But
they were pretty cool.
But clearly I'm not it's not everyone because the comment section says, "Sending Oren all my dollar sign, dollar sign, 'cause CUZ, those shoes are" 3 fire emojis, by Cat Mom Davis, but like, "Cat Mom Davis," because after each part there is an exclamation point.
I do have a question though.
Mhm.
Could it, instead of being sending Oren all my money, could it be sending Oren all my because those shoes are
Ooh.
3 fire emojis? Because
I
in
had no
many
I
other places, the S's are dollar
I
signs.
had no idea where you were going with that. That was the funniest thing you've said today. Um, yeah, for sure. I don't know where to go from here. Good, but the next one says "Orin for President" by Jim Stan Laundry, but after each word it's a dollar sign. So maybe it's Jim's Stan's Laundries. Is that what you're implying?
I don't know, man.
You're like, I can't stick to a story.
I
This is
can't. I
ridiculous.
can't.
The next one is Jess meeting the president and the president wearing Oren's kicks. I can't. By I've got it, Brad, where each I is an exclamation point and the A is an at sign. I'd wear Oren if I could by Boom Boom Paula with exclamation points after the booms. And then Madame Prez with the Oren swag by Carpe Diem, not DM, DM with one at sign and an exclamation point.
So as cringe as the comment, "I'd wear Orin if I could" is, that feels realistic because I do feel like people would be commenting some rogue stuff on these posts, and, like, they
Yeah.
would be Orin also strikes me as the kinda person who, like, might have some thirst traps on
Yeah.
his account.
Antonio, weigh in. um, to me, it's just like, ugh, it just hurts me to, for example, just meeting the president and the president wearing orange. Like, as I'm reading this, I'm like, this is good. And then they say kicks. And I'm like, can you stop trying so hard?
No,
Like,
they can't.
um, so do we think he designed the sneakers? Is he a designer now?
Mhm.
So he has a shoe line.
Yeah, because you told me that, it wasn't that she was literally wearing his shoes, so yeah.
But my point, of course, being is if these posts are supposed to show what the characters are up to since finding the treasure, I can see how finding the treasure could help get Jess into school, right? But how would it help Oren become a designer? You don't have like a Liam singing at Graceland and going viral moment here. How did this help Oren become a fashion designer for shoes?
I don't know.
You don't want to, yeah, I thought we were supposed to be coming up with lore here, Emily. Put that
Okay,
thinking cap on, Emily.
so my lore is that there are people who, when they saw photos of Liam from Finding the Treasure,
You mean Oren?
are yeah, Oren finding the treasure, that who are also sneakerheads.
Mhm.
Um, and then there are some that just thought he was hot. And
Mhm.
Oren strikes me as the person who would do a thirst trap picture wearing shoes that he likes and talking about them, which means that if he gained followers on social media from finding the treasure and then that spiraled into people liking his shoe design or his shoes, he might then decide that he wants to design shoes and people might be more willing to kind of like back him because he has this name recognition now.
I think what you're saying is Oren is now an influencer who has a brand deal.
Yes.
Okay. You could have just said that. Just saying.
But mine was better. It was a journey.
It was literally a journey. Okay, guys, there's more. We have to keep running through this. We need to move faster, Em. The next one's a little different though. The next one, oh god, the next one. Ethan has a LinkedIn post. It is Ethan wearing a suit and carrying like a leather work bag, and he's standing in front of the Supreme Court. And the caption says, all caps, achievement unlocked, hashtag Pan American Treasure. Almost 6,000 likes here and 452 comments. There are 2 comments we can see. They say, say hi to Justice Sotomayor for me by Better Call Paul with at signs. And then congrats, Ethan. You've inspired me to lawyer up by the snack Dahlia with an at sign and an exclamation point. Okay. Sorry, I know I'm on a diatribe, but you just gotta let me go here. I have never had the ick before, but now I think I know what it feels like.
Are you done?
No, but I need you to react because I'm like getting heart palpitations right now.
I have thoughts. I want to share my thoughts.
Go for it. Go for it. Share your thoughts.
To the snack Dahlia, maybe get a lawyer before you see a picture of Ethan, because that's what the term lawyer up means. Also, achievement unlocked, very similar to a previous caption. And then why are we using the hashtag Pan American Treasure? I don't think it had to do with you becoming a lawyer.
On LinkedIn, nonetheless. And also, you inspired me to lawyer up is like an Instagram comment, not a LinkedIn comment. All right, I'll keep going. First of all, production wise, this photo of Ethan is so clearly photoshopped on top of the Supreme Court that I am in physical pain. And also, you know, why the hashtag at all? This is not the format of LinkedIn posts. And what is the relevant of the treasure for him clerking, presumably, at the Supreme Court? But if he's now working at the Supreme Court, it means he's moved away from Baton Rouge. So what does that do to his friendships? Again, how is this going? Oh my God. How is this
It
going to
doesn't
facilitate
matter. He's unlocked an achievement.
He has. I mean, that's quite the achievement.
It is. Don't
It's
think it has to
also,
do with the Pan American Treasure.
I'll say, it's also irrelevant.
Glad that he lived out his dream.
Also,
Okay.
real talk, if we're realistically, if law school, law firms, whomever finds out that he had this role in like helping someone leave the country, get back into the country illegally, does that even allow him to secure this job?
No. He shouldn't be using that hashtag.
Maybe. Here, okay, my lore time. You ready for my lore?
Sure.
We already heard that I think, and I hope you also thought, that this was the most cringy photoshopped picture I've ever seen in my entire life. So maybe that is not an accident. Maybe we were supposed to see it as being photoshopped. Maybe Ethan photoshopped it. Maybe Ethan can't get a clerkship now because of his sketchy past, and he's trying to save face. And this is actually him posting on LinkedIn, maybe because like Jess is away at Princeton, Liam's away in Nashville, Oren is maybe back and forth between LA or wherever he's making his shoes. And so Ethan feels like he's being left behind. The one that was supposed to be this big lawyer, professional person, can't actually get a job. So he is trying to save face with his friends by saying he got a clerkship at the Supreme Court, and he actually didn't. And that's why it's photoshopped.
Well done.
This episode is unhinged.
It is, but let's do the next one because I do really like this next one.
Okay, this one's cute. This is Dr. Zeke on Instagram. It is a photo of Agent Ross wearing a medal in front of the Department of Justice seal. The caption says, "My girlfriend is more extra than your girlfriend. Hashtag FBI. Hashtag brave. Hashtag I'm with her. Hashtag we met in a morgue." There
Okay,
are
so
I was gonna say, for completeness, over 5,400 likes and nearly 100 comments. Proceed.
Dr. Zeke does strike me as the boyfriend who just doesn't really know social media.
Okay.
And is just like he's like the golden retriever boyfriend. He's doing the best he can. He doesn't know like what hashtags to use. Um, the "we met in a morgue" hashtag,
That's funny.
hilarious because
Yeah.
that is the kind of hashtags that I do think people use
Yeah.
sometimes to refer to inside jokes. And I say that
Uh-huh.
because we used to do that all the time. So, hashtag
Yeah.
airvent.
For posterity. Um, I actually agree with you. I think this one might be the most realistic of all the posts, just full context wise. Also, I'm with her is a real hashtag. Did it not have to do with Hillary Clinton though? Is that
I
a thing?
don't know.
I know it's real. I don't know why. Don't at us, people. Um, the
Definitely not with all these ad signs. Am I right?
but the comments that we can see are "Thank you for your service, Agent Ross" by Johnny Liddy with an exclamation point. "Not all heroes wear capes" by the Calm Quam with at signs. And the implication is, well, they're still together.
Yep. Good for them.
I was curious about what award she won. Did that cross your mind at all?
It did. Unsurprisingly, I didn't look into it.
Equally unsurprisingly, I did. And this is most likely the DOJ's Public Safety Officer Medal of Valor. Per the Justice Department's website, quote, "The medal is awarded annually by the President of the United States to public safety officers who have exhibited exceptional courage, regardless of personal safety, in the attempt to save or protect human life," end quote. And FBI agents are eligible for this.
There we go.
There we go, indeed.
Okay. Keep it
All right,
moving.
we have one more, you guys. And if you were confused by like leading off with two Raphael posts and like some people are getting more attention than others, same. This is a YouTube video and it is Oren again and Tasha. Tasha exists, receiving medals from a white guy in a suit in front of an FBI SEAL. And as the video progresses, Agent Ross, wearing her medal from the previous post, is shaking Tasha's hand. The caption, well, I guess the video title is "Making Change from Within." And the text on the video itself says "Making Citizen Heroes." And then, like, after a few more credits, a new still from this video pops up, and it's a photo of the guy, the FBI guy with Lyndon, Tasha, and Oren. Um, Over it has over 806,000 views. Again, sorry, Liam, your measly 100,000 got nothing on this 806,000 views. And there are
Mm-mm.
5,400 likes and no dislikes, lol. Hashtag unrealistic.
Unrealistic. This one confused me.
Please,
I just don't get it.
what don't you
I
get? Just
what do
what
you
don't
get,
you
Aubrey?
I get nothing from this entire episode has been such a journey, and I feel most of our episodes we come away and I feel like I know more. This one I feel like I know less.
Is this implying that she's making a change from within the FBI,
Ross.
which
Agent
okay.
Ross.
Oh, I
Or
was thinking
Tasha.
Tasha, but
Impossible.
ex that's why I was confused.
Unless she got a job with the FBI. Did Jake tell us that recently? Was that
I
a thing?
thought so.
Maybe she got a job. Okay, I forget when this episode comes out. Does this come out before or after the Jake interview comes out?
I don't know.
Well,
In the Jake interview, which you may or may not have heard, we're
and
pretty sure
this may or may not be the announcement of the fact that Jake Austin Walker has come on our show.
we're pretty sure he said that Tasha gets a job at the FBI. In
And
which case,
it could be her
she's
making
making a
change.
change from within maybe making citizen heroes because she was a citizen and is now a
See, that's
hero.
the thing. I assumed it was Ross making change from within, and that the citizen heroes were Tasha and Oren, because if Tasha got the job with the FBI and is being handshaked like, "Congratulations," did Oren also get a job with the FBI? What is he doing there? I mean,
He's
I
just
do feel
supporting
like
his girlfriend?
here's the thing. Let's be realistic though, and I know I have to read the comments for completeness sake, but I do believe context-wise, since Oren is there and Ross is shaking their hands, I feel like Tasha and Oren are being awarded for saving Agent Ross's life. Um,
Mm.
but I have absolutely no idea what that has to do with making change from within.
Mm, I
Yeah,
tried.
nothing. I know. Um,
He's changing his shoes within the FBI, building and is
mm,
making change
wow, you're good at
from
this.
within.
You're good at this. Okay, I'm gonna reel it in for a sec. I'm gonna say, this video doesn't have to necessarily mean this, but I think that seeing Tasha and Oren together makes me feel like they're probably still in a relationship. And if
100%.
if you buy into that, then not seeing Jess and Liam together at all in these credits makes me think you're right and that they're not still together. Um, I'm yeah, okay. Should we celebrate the end of this episode by reading the last comments?
Yes.
All right. So on this video, the comments we see are saving lives and putting away bad guys. Thank you, Agent Ross, Tasha, and Oren. By in the B, I'm. Oh, in the neon lights? In the B, I'm light? Okay. I think this. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what I'm reading, you guys. In the B, I'm lights with the dollar sign. Then we have the only things shining brighter than those medals are you guys by Magnificent Maisha with 2 exclamation points. And then for the pièce de résistance, I want to be Tasha when I grow up by Gen Zers? Gen
Oh my really? Oh my gosh. Okay, moving on.
So
Brief
no, no,
reflections.
I have to I
No,
have
because
no,
no, you don't get time with it.
I no, I need
Because
to
you didn't
explain what
realize it.
I am reading something to people and they cannot see what I'm looking at, okay? This is Jen, Jenn, like the name Jennifer. Z, letter Z, ER, dollar sign. So when I was transcribing this, I thought this was like some play on Jennifer. But now that I am reading it aloud, always read things aloud, kids. I am realizing that this is supposed to say Gen Zers. And it's Gen Zers saying, I want to be Tasha when I grow up. And I low key think that's very clever.
Yeah, it's cute.
Did you, did you, uh, did you get that from the get?
Yeah.
And did you like it from the get?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was also just a funny reference to Gen Z,
That's funny.
um,
Yeah,
because, that was something people complained about.
it's true. Against all odds, we have completed this episode.
Mhm.
You said you weren't as exasperated as I was when I was doing the episode prep, but you seem pretty exasperated throughout this entire last hour, Emily. Would you care to share what you're feeling right now with the class?
Oh, I mean, it didn't make me angry. I am exasperated, but not in a way that I'm, angry about it.
I'm frustrated, man. This was such a missed opportunity. I thought this was a great idea for showing like what comes next for the characters. It's very smart. It answers the question of where are they now in the event that they don't get a second season, and they didn't. But dude, the way they did it was weak. I'm so sorry to say that. Like, first of all, the commenters should have been the handles of the crew, or riffs on the crew members' names, or versions of handles of online National Treasure fans. Like, we could have helped with this. Like, we could have helped them give them handles. We could have helped give them fake comments that are nods to the movie. We, like, it just makes me so sad because this could have been a really fun, like, post credits thing that they just miffed,
Yeah.
fumbled the bag. Um, Second of all, no wonder there's no second season. All the characters are clearly pretty busy living their career dreams somehow.
Didn't Jake say that too?
He said
Or
there was gonna be
Lizette?
a time he said there was gonna be a time jump, which and I do remember when he said that, I was like, "This makes more sense now." But unless this was gonna be like a 5-year time jump, really? I mean, think about it. Jess's schooling is probably at least 4 years.
Yeah.
Um, I
Tasha's not
doubt
getting into the FBI tomorrow.
Uh-huh. I doubt Liam actually makes it big in music and decides to just peace out.
Yeah.
Like, Ethan's clerkship probably is at least a 2-year stint, maybe 3. So, like, how is that gonna work? I mean, I would have liked to see a 5-year time jump. I wouldn't have hated that. It does make me wonder what would have happened if there was, a 3rd season and a 4th season, and then by the end, you have, like, 30-year-olds playing 50-year-olds, and I don't think Hollywood works that way.
No. It's the other way.
Exactly.
So Aubrey, do you have a call to action for our listeners?
I do have a question that I'd like them to weigh in on. Um, I wanna know from you guys, which of these character outcomes is the most believable? Because we clearly had issues with a lot of them for various reasons, and I wanna know what you guys think. Maybe we'll do some polls online. I think I took screenshots. I prepped this episode a while ago. I think I took screenshots of each of these social media posts. We'll post them online. I wanna know what you think. Who were it best, if you will? Which of these outcomes was most believable? And I have a secondary question, if you'll allow me, Emily.
Of course.
Listeners, did this exercise pain you as much as it pained me?
Let us know. You can find us on social media. We're available on both X and Instagram at NT Hunt Podcast, where I would encourage you under any videos that are posted of this episode to make the comment sections as National Treasure Edge of History ridiculous as possible.
I got another one. In addition to that, I'd like you to comment with the version of your current Instagram handle in National Treasure Edge of History style. So give me all those at signs and exclamation points and dollar signs. Maybe the dollar sign is a dollar sign. Maybe it's an S. Who knows?
Who knows? Only you. And you can tell us on social media. You can also find us on our website at NT Hunt Podcast. And please leave us a rating and review before you exit out of your podcasting platform. And whether you're watching us there or not, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also populate those comments with some
Mhm.
rogue
Mhm.
Edge of History style comments as well.
I have genuinely never wanted our listeners to comment more
I'm
than
very excited. Please don't let us down.
don't let us down. We worked so hard for you guys. This is our one request today. Um, and then, of course, our other request is for you to come back for our next episode, which is going to also be off the rails because it is a follow up to a very popular episode we made last season. Remember when we diagnosed character injuries in the first National Treasure movie?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
we're coming back with character injuries in National Treasure 2. But until then, I'm Aubrey.
And I'm Emily.
And thank you so much for joining us on our unhinged National Treasure Hunt.